It's Eastside Catholic in excellent position. How often have we seen that?
Well, you see that all the time. You know, those teams, they don't practice that kind of bounce, that odd quirk that gets everybody out of their lines. He just took it, straight shot it up the sideline, and they're in business.
No way you can practice that. Let's give you today's starting lineups. Under center, Harley Kirsch, the sophomore quarterback, over 72% completions. Henry Jarvis, 895 yards, is an automatic first down, averaging over 10. Other good hands players, number 6, Devon Arbus-Jackson, number 20, Ben Angelo, Matt Laris, the sophomore, and Colin McElvenny are going to be your wide receivers. We'll get to the line after the first down and 10, just outside the 20-yard line. Motion man, and they throw to him, collected by Arbus-Jackson. He's got some room, and he's sandwiched there, but near a first down after a 9-yard gain.
It's exactly what we talked about, trying to get it to the outside.
And your center's going to be Alex Neal. Dylan Hill, Cody Baker are going to be your linemen, with Brody McKnight, the freshman, at 6'2", 260, highly valued here, and Colin Stout in the line as well. 2nd and 1. Threatening already, the Crusaders getting a great start with that long kick return. Checking the sideline, Kirsch sets the team. Sophomore quarterback, one behind, trips to the right, looks that way, and the southpaw flings it. And it will be a first down after the 2-yard gain.
2 plays, and you've seen them go to the wide side of the field. They want to take that defensive line for ODea out of the contest.
And on defense for ODea, number 59 is Gerald Kennedy. Number 71, Jarius McDade is the big guy they're going to try to avoid. DeJohn Radstone, number 74, with Dylan Ledbetter, number 57. So first and goal to go inside the 10. And your 2 linebackers, Jack Floor is a name you're going to hear a lot throughout the ball game for ODea, number 42, and Nathan Proctor Jr., number 32, the other of the 2 linebackers. They're going to back up the front 5. 4 down linemen, I should say. Kirsch whistle before he can get things underway here.
Too much time. You know, one of those things you see with that no-huddle offense is they get the team set, and then, of course, they look over to the sideline to see what kind of adjustments based on the formation, and, of course, they took just a little bit too much time. So it's a case of the no-huddle actually taking too much time.
Well, that's the first misstep.
Still first down, first and goal.
That's the first step for the Crusaders. They're still first and goal, but it's going to be from 14 yards out. Look for the DBs, Jack Murphy, Rylan Carr, Caleb Swain, and DeVorea Proctor, Nathan's junior brother, making a play here, and there's a great play on the edge. Arbus-Jackson piling down to the 3-yard line. How about that for making up for the only penalty of the game so far?
Tremendous catch. Left-handed grab, just pulled that one out of this night sky. A full moon tonight, and you can tell the guys in black are already riding high.
So now it's 2nd and goal to go from the 2. It's as if the penalty never happened for Eastside Catholic. 2 wide receivers right. The handoff's going to be to Jarvis, and he shakes him off and goes in. Crusader touchdown on the 2-yard plunge off the right tackle.
Fundamental football right there, and Jarvis, who had 14 scores last year, he's already got himself into double digits this year. Couple more games to go. You can tell Jarvis, one of the top running backs here on the east side and in the state.
Well, it didn't take much for Eastside Catholic to get in. 9 minutes and 54 seconds remain. Kirsch will be the holder. And Juan Sachi will be the field goal kicker, another sophomore. It's set, it's up, and it's good. 7-0, the early Eastside Catholic lead. 80-yard kick return, and 4 plays and 1 penalty later into Pater, and they lead 7-0.
Well, it's very interesting. We talk about the keys to the game. We saw the early action to the outside, and, of course, when you start to get the defense going from side to side, it opens up the lanes up the middle, and that's exactly what they took advantage of. They got Jarvis able to scoot around the end, no doubt trying to keep it away from Jarius McDade. And, of course, that huge kickoff. Monty Kohler talking about keeping the explosive plays down. That wasn't exactly probably what they were talking about in terms of that kickoff, but that counts as a big explosive play. It was almost going to be a huge negative for Eastside Catholic as they were fielding it at the 1-yard line. I thought it was going to be a touchback because as soon as that ball gets back into that end zone, it's a touchback at this level. But no, 80 yards the other way. That set up the shot. I think O'Dea's still a little bit stunned about that kickoff return.
And they were successful in keeping it away from number 71, their captain, the beast in the middle, Jarius McDade. And they showed their speed in the outside right from the get-go.
Yeah, and head coach Jeremy Thielbar in his third year here at Eastside Catholic, when he took over this job a few years ago, he said he wanted to build a program. That's what he's done. And, of course, you know, no better mentor out there than Amani Kohler, who has done it for decades at ODea, a model to perhaps follow in terms of building this program up.
33 years and 3 state championships and numerous Metro League championships to his credit, operating there up in the First Hill. The kickoff by Eastside Catholic goes all the way to Swain at the 1-yard line, collecting to the right-hand side. The blocking sets up, makes a little wall of his own, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So a solid 25-yard return for O'Dea.
Yeah, he was able to evade a couple of would-be tacklers, picking up about 8 extra yards along that near sideline. Great return, and O'Dea, we'll see what they do. They got some talented running backs that we're gonna see. You bet.
Miles Gaskin coming in, and of course Pierre Ladors, the baseball playing quarterback.
He's going to go Ivy League next year. He already made that commitment to Cornell.
And wonder if we'll be getting a knock on the door from the football coach there. I formation, the pro set, 2 receivers to the left. They'll give it McClaskey on the back. And on the right-hand side, pretty good pursuit there by Eastside Catholic. They'll yield 3 yards in the plunge up the middle.
Yeah, Carter Gonzalez, one of the fellows in there with the stop, a senior linebacker, able to go to the left side. And, of course, still getting some yards, though, for O'Dea. You know, they want to keep it on the ground. A good 4-yard pickup.
Jack Floor right behind. And it's 2nd and 7 for O'Dea. The Fighting Irish going to the air, flinging out the left-hand side. Collected for a first down. Running through is Bobby Sims as he runs out of bounds into Eastside Catholic territory. And there's a first down for the Irish.
Bobby Sims, sophomore starter. He's a great round runner, has amazing hands, and he's going to be a great, solid player here for years to come.
Biono Sims, I like to call him Bobby. He'll go left this time. Right side is Mikael Oz, and Oz you got to look out for as well. They give the ball off to the fullback. Good pursuit, but that hesitation actually paid off as Miles Gaskin picks up 3 yards, maybe 4, for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, Wellington, one of the first ones in there, missed it on the arm tackle, but you know, again, another handoff on first down, and they get about 4 yards. It gives you so many options, especially with a veteran quarterback in Ladors, who's been helming this offense since his sophomore season.
O's to the right, Sims to the left. I formation behind the quarterback. Ladors handing it off. Bouncing outside. Gaskin finding room. Gets across the 20. He's going to find Paydirt. Touchdown, Fighting Irish.
That did not take very long. 43 yards out on the score. And you know what? It was another broken arm tackle that enabled him to get past that second layer and break free into the clear. And at that point, he was off to the races.
At this point, they're going to have to look into a new scoreboard if they keep scoring at this rate. 9:54, the time of the Crusaders, and a minute and 25 seconds later, and they're going the other way, setting up. Girardin now tries to get it through the uprights. Ball is down, gets it up, and Garrett Granlund's hold was true, and the kick is good. We're all tied at 7. Well, we knew we were going to see some good offense. The balance of O'Dea in evidence as well. They didn't get that kickoff return, but they didn't need it.
Well, they got a solid start on the kickoff return, but what they did was move the chains a couple of times. And, you know, both teams, I think, trying to settle into this one a little bit. We've hardly played a couple of minutes, and both teams on the board, so they're getting loosened up. But, you know, for a team like Eastside Catholic, you get that early advantage. You've got a youthful team. You want to try and ride that a little bit, give your defense a shot. And, of course, the defense, they've got to wake up a little bit and try to solidify some of those tackles and on the Eastside Catholic side. But for O'Dea, they're doing what O'Dea does.
So let's put ourselves in the bodies of these young student athletes. 2 minutes and a half in. Your stomach really isn't settled at this point. There's still more to be doing. And it's all tied at 7. each play seems to loom important. Can they maintain their composure, keep the game plan in mind, and execute? That's going to be critical. And with two teams so highly touted coming in, I mean, Eastside Catholic, sure, that's not exactly the same team. It never is, as the team that lost to Bellevue in the state championship. But they're seasoned. They're a young program that's really grown fast. For ODea, just like their coach, they have to have a sense of, we've been here before, we can move on. But neither team has really been tested as we're set for the kickoff from the Fighting Irish. 5-1 the record for Eastside Catholic. Their lone loss to a 4A team. ODea, unblemished so far, coming in at 6-0. The long kick at the goal line and taking it, running it from there, and getting some opportunities, Brandon Wellington. So running right with some speed, and Wellington shows that he can go left and get some yardage as well for Eastside Catholic. They'll set up their second series from their own 32-yard line.
And the way that one was developing, Wellington had one man to beat, and that one man got him down. If he slips that tackle, he was going to go for some extreme yardage again.
Well, we saw Arbus Jackson light down the other side. Wellington, pretty decent field position for Eastside Catholic, trying to hurry things up. Kirsch signaling with the clap, fakes the handoff. Down the middle, it's wide open, and it's a sprint from now. Cutting to the right-hand side, the recipient, Colin Bolt. And just like Usain Bolt, it's Colin Boyd. And how about that for a quick strike offense? 20 seconds later, touchdown for the Crusaders.
From all the way at the other end of the field from the 32, so nearly a 70-yard, 68-yard scoring strike. Boy, we're going to burn out the lights on the scoreboard tonight.
68 yards.
Devin Jackson, Arbus Jackson on the score.
Jackson. So, timeout call that looked like number 2 out there to me, Colin Boyd, but the announcer gave it to us as Devin Arbus Jackson, and now Eastside Catholic's going to have to call a timeout to sort out their point after attempt here.
Well, you know, I think everybody's already running a 2-minute offense, so I don't know if they'll need those timeouts at the end of the half, the way things are going.
Well, we know how fast Oregon can get up and down the field. But remember, these are two talented offenses going against decent defenses.
Well, you know, we talked a little bit about getting that ball to the perimeter, and that was a case of one-on-one in the slot and one man to beat. Beat that man, and then, of course, a move at about the 25-yard line to evade two would-be tacklers. That little spin getting him to go the distance. You know, the right call by the quarterback, Kirsch, made all the difference. He got it to the right guy.
They were working the perimeter in that first series, and that inside route opened so often at that second level. Quickly, a lot of space to maneuver those two defenders to cover two. So here's the point after attempt. There's a good rush, but the kick is through, and it's 14-7, just like that.
And the other piece of that as well is the fact that we talk about the line play being critical and needing to keep the ball away from that big ODea defensive line. Those quick passes don't enable that defensive front to get into the mix.
So are you saying the downside of that quick strike is you're putting your defense back there in the field?
Well, I'm saying if you can find a way to keep your quarterback upright, good things will tend to happen.
And it looks like a strong line effort so far by the Crusaders. If you look at their offensive line, they've actually had some difficulty. Drew Springfield is looking to play next level. 6 minutes to go in the second week of football action. Down with a knee dislocation. Very unfortunate. They're hoping that he'll have a chance to get out there on the field today if needed. So perhaps if they can continue to score at will and avoid the pressure, especially from the Fighting Irish, Jarius McDade, as mentioned earlier, then they're going to maybe not have to put him on the field, except for maybe to give him a couple of reps to help him get ready for next week.
Well, you know how it is. Every time you have that injury, it's that balance of do you rush back to get back into it? I mean, you see this going on with the Seahawks as well. They've got some injured players. Well, winning enables you to buy time and to get healthier.
And an athlete appreciates, oh, what a leg. Into the end zone, and, of course, fully in the end zone like that. Swain's going to settle for a touchback. What a kick.
Yep, and that's a nice night to put the ball in the air, unlike some of the early season games we were playing in the wet and the woolly and the wild. 52 degrees tonight, mostly clear, 91% humidity under a full moon. Some beautiful light winds out there. This is a perfect autumn evening here in the month of October for football.
And what a great place to enjoy it here on the campus of Eastside Catholic. Driving up that driveway, I wasn't sure if I was in a movie or maybe at the next level here.
It's a beautiful facility here at Charlie Acosta Field.
And they enjoy it, and the pitch to the left-hand side. O'Day, another opening, jetting through the other way. Miles Gaskin providing an answer. 10-5, touchdown O'Day, 80 yards the other way.
Don't go to the bathroom. That's all I could say. If you don't make a trip to the refrigerator, don't go anywhere. This game is already unreal.
Are you kidding me? Well, 20 seconds later, Eastside Catholic responded to the equalizing touchdown by O'Day. How about 12 seconds later, the Fighting Irish get on the board to say, we're not gone. Far from it.
It's a 12-second, 80-yard dash.
Barely a chance to check your chin strap, folks. The kick is up, and it's good, and we're tied at 14 with 7:57 left in the ball game. That's right, folks. First quarter, 4 scores, and 7 years ago, our country's discovered, 4 scores.
4 scores and about 4 minutes ago in this contest. Here's the thing. If you're on the Eastside Catholic sideline, you have to treat that pretty much as if that was a kickoff return for a touchdown. And how often do you see that? You see that periodically. You get that score on the board, the other team comes back on special teams. In this case, they were able to get the touchback, but, you treat it in kind of that same mental way. Okay, it's zeros again. Everybody's loosened up. Let's get back to work. I mean, a couple of one-play drives. Are you kidding me?
If you look at O'Day, they've been plying their trade on the outside. Even looking off tackle, they're popping outside, and they are finding openings. They're doing a good job keeping away from Paga, Ione, and Fatui. Hardly had a chance to introduce the starting lineups for these teams, and they are the starting down linemen. Carter Gonzalez, Anthony Masanaye, Aaron Brookmata, they're the linebackers, and they barely had a grab at a jersey out there, let alone the defenders. Brandon Wellington, Anthony Masanaye, and Matt Kvetch, Jimmy Joliffe, and Jake Jackson, your defensive backs for Eastside Catholic. And we're ready to go with another kickoff here in tonight's ball game. And this is a short pooch going up high. Fair catch called for, and they'll settle for it in the 28. So was that a wise play? Hey,
oh, yeah.
Safety for sure.
Oh, yeah. You take that. I hate to say it, we're early in this game, incredibly early. A lot of things can change. Now, how about this stat line so far? For Gaskins of O'Day, 4 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns already. That's unofficial, but he's getting the job done in this game, just a handful of minutes old.
Number 12 is Jonathan Webster for Eastside Catholic. He'll be one of the starting DBs. Right now we're on offense. We're not too worried about that. Haley Kirsch, the sophomore quarterback, out there to get things going, calling signals for the Crusaders. All tied at 14. On the read option, it's given to the line, and the O'Day Irish are there after all.
Well, and that's one of the rare plays that you've seen go right into the line, and you can see why one of the keys to the game was to keep it out of the middle, keep it on the perimeter. That defensive line just stuffing everything. They did pick up a yard, though, so good for Eastside Catholic.
2nd and 9 to go for the Crusaders. Double receivers left and right for Kirsch. And the quick fling out to the right-hand side. Looks like Addison Hull with it. And he'll get close to the yard stakes, maybe 2 yards away on that 7-yard gain.
Yeah, variation on the bubble screen, getting it out there. The wide receivers trying to set up the blocks, and it brings up 3rd and short, kind of the way you want to work it. And the way you fling the ball around for the Crusaders, easy to pick up 3rd and 2 situation.
The clock clicks underneath 7 minutes. 3rd and short, and each team with 1 first down. This is our first 3rd down for either team. And they're going to go to the air, and a nice short route beyond the stakes coming back, and I like the accuracy in the form of the quarterback.
Colin McElhaney with the reception, and Nolan Proctor Jr. helping to lead the charge defensively, but not before the first down pickup.
McElhaney ran that to perfection, but Kirsch zipped it in there. Quickly, they're back in action on the first down play. Lots of room and running through a tackle and leaning forward a la Marshawn Lynch. The Crusaders at midfield.
You know,
that's an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, one of the things that we saw in one of the Pac-12 games last week when Utah upset Stanford was working the ball to the sidelines, making that defensive unit go from sideline to sideline, sideline to sideline, and eventually later on in the game, the defense wears down. That could be one of the techniques that Eastside Catholic might look at here in this contest.
And Angelo far right for quarterback Harley Kirsch, who looks to his coach, the offensive coordinator. They get the call at the line of scrimmage. Up here in the plateau, they don't huddle much, especially with that vaunted spread offense. And overthrown and getting underneath it is Swain for ODea. And there's our first turnover of the game. And the Irish will be in position at the 23-yard line.
First interception of the season for sophomore quarterback Harley Kirsch. He came into this contest with 14 touchdowns. They might be waving this one off as incomplete as the officials confer. The officiating crew consisting of referee Jeff Matson, the umpire is Alan Glenn, linesman Wayne Delasto, line judge is Andy Miller, and the back judge Matt Brown, and they're going to wave that one off.
Well, Harley Kirsch will make it that much easier for him to shake that off. Heck of a play by Swain, no instant replay at this level. And it's going to be live for another day, another short yardage third down situation for the Crusaders. Kirsch with Jarvis behind him. Jarvis gets the call, plunges through for the first down, and keeps fighting with half the ODea defenders draped on him as he approaches the 45-yard line, and into Fighting Irish territory the Crusaders go.
Yeah, and right into the teeth of the defense. We have not seen that play work yet here in the early going, but he darts right through. The one long run he had was off tackle. This time he goes right up the gut into that ODea defense, getting that first down.
And there's one wide receiver on the left, two on the right for Kirsch. Fakes the handoff, play action, wants to throw back to Brandon Wellington with the catch with pressure. Right there was Justice Ross, and it's a first down again. And there's a flag, and the officials have to push the ODea players back in the direction. There's a little bit of jawing going on down there.
Yeah, there was a little kerfuffle back there with the play after the ball was released by Kirsch, and that was exactly one of those plays. You kind of draw that one up. You're going to fake it on the play action, and then you're going to look right back at the guy you faked it to, because oftentimes defenses will lose that guy. They go, hey, I'm not going to worry about this guy. He didn't get the ball. Well, guess what? We're going to go right back to him. That's what they did. Nice catch by Wellington as well in traffic.
And Justin Ross, one of the defensive captains, hadn't ignored him. He was right there. It was a tough catch, so give Wellington the credit. We'll see as they sort out the penalty which direction it may go. It would seem to go against the Fighting Irish.
Well, usually you see that one after the play back there, but that one looked a little bit closer to where some of the line play was. Of course, they haven't moved anything yet in terms of the chains, but, when your attention gets drawn downfield to where the ball is, a lot of things happen away from the ball, especially in this game of football.
Well, hats off to the referee crew. They look as much forward to games like this as you and I and the folks out here for tonight's ball game. And after conferring, we're going to get a report. Ineligible downfield. So that will be a costly mistake against Eastside Catholic, and it's offsetting penalties.
So the personal foul on ODea, and we'll see how they adjudicate this one, mark off the yardage.
Well, if I think they're going to go one way and then the other. Yes, Matson lets the head linesman know that's it. They've got the
so they mark off the personal foul.
15 the other way. So we're all tied in the ball game. One of the few areas where we're not tied is in penalties, and it's basically 15 yards to 5. Or 10. 2 penalties against Eastside Catholic.
After the slide rule is used, it is a first down.
And we're not referring to the NFL slide rule here,
no.
Are we?
No.
There was no sliding going on there.
We call that old technology.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves already. 2 receivers on the right for Kirsch. In the backfield, Brandon Wellington, the recipient on that pass. 35 yards out from Pater to take the next lead against ODea. A bit of pressure, flushed out the left-hand side, trying to find some options, and he'll get a couple of yards diving out of bounds inside the 35.
You know, it's one of those plays where he couldn't find what he wanted, so he went and got what he could. On first down, you got the ball in the other team's territory. This is, I think, the longest drought we've had for scoring in this game so far. So really putting together a drive. He picked up about 3 on that play just by pulling it down and running it. Not bad on first down.
Had he played, didn't risk a turnover.
Also on the hurry, 2nd and 7.
And it's second with 7 to go.
Blitz.
Blitz on the left-hand side by Ross, and chasing down from behind in the defense. It looked like Curtis Delgado got some action defensively, and they lose 1 on the play.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where they're bringing the blitz from the opposite side. Still were able to hold them for no gain, but again, running away from that blitz, it's almost the perfect play call, but the ODea defense stiffened and was able to draw it out. A big third down coming up for the Crusaders.
Wellington in the backfield. 2 receivers left and right for quarterback Harley Kirsch, a sophomore who has performed admirably here. A good team around him. And the handoff, the right read as he was smothered. Wellington continues on the right-hand side near the stakes, and he's thrust into the pile of ODea players in the far sideline. And it looks like Alabama over there only in terms of numbers.
Well, I'll tell you, it drew some oohs and ahs there, that run. The end of that play over on the other sideline. We're on the Eastside Catholic side of things, and so oohs and ahs, but no penalty flag. Big 4th down coming up here, and they're kind of in no man's land. This is probably go for it territory.
Yep, 4th and about 3. They sent in Alicia Paga, one of the defenders, also coming in on the far side with Ben Angelo down low. So Eastside Catholic trying to sort out and get the right formation. In the backfield is Paga. And they'll call timeout, their second of the half, all here in the first quarter. We're tied at 14 with 4:21 left in the opening frame here at Eastside Catholic in a Metro League Mountain Division matchup between 2 undefeated teams in Metro League play. As a matter of fact, Eastside Catholic with 3 wins to Odea's 2.
Yeah, and that's the way. It's a 6-team division with Eastside Catholic ODea, the class of the bunch. Bishop Blanchette, Seattle Prep, then Lakeside and Bainbridge. Both Lakeside and Bainbridge have yet to pick up a win in conference play. So this is Eastside Catholic and Odea's battle, really for all practical purposes, the Mountain Division Championship, if you will, with just a couple more games left to play. And then, of course, they'll take on the champion from the Sound Division. Right now leading that is Nathan Hale. They won it last year and battled Eastside Catholic, and Eastside Catholic winning that one. So Eastside Catholic and ODea really duking it out here for what a lot of folks, off paper, of course, we'll take a look at and say this is really the championship game. But Monty Kohler before, he signified that this is a big game, but these 2 teams will live to play again. It just so happens that the one that wins this game kind of gets the inside track to the more preferred seed to the playoffs. Last year, ODea ended up being the 3rd seed. They had to go on the road, ended up losing in the playoffs in Spokane on a road game.
Arvis Jackson in the slot on the left-hand side. Colin McElvaney wide on the left. And 4th and 3, they say. Long count, and a flag comes out. Will it be delay a game? Yes, it will.
And that is not what you want after you use a timeout to get things situated, to get back out on that field and to draw that 5-yard penalty. Might change the complexion of what they want to do, especially if they're going to go for it. They maybe have been thinking run or maybe read option. Now they got to probably go to the air to a lower percentage option.
Their field goals are taken by number 86, Ian Dorney. And no signs of the junior kicker on the field for the Crusaders. They are going to go for it. And on play action, flinging out the right-hand side and forced out of bounds to the 30. ODea will take over on downs.
Yeah, that penalty was huge in that regard, making it a much lower percentage opportunity. And, of course, they even used the timeout, so a misfire by Eastside Catholic. A bit of a mental one and not getting that one done. Not sure if that was the team on the field or whether the coaching staff had some communication issues in terms of getting that play signaled out there. But Harley Kirsch, this really his first year running this team. He took over for Trey Reynolds, a senior from last year, a quarterback that's now playing at Claremont McKenna. But Kirsch already in his sophomore campaign doing quite well, but they didn't quite get it in sync.
So going the other way, jetting out to the right under pressure. LaForza Oh, he takes a great dead leg tackle, gets on for another 5 yards, and I believe he's got enough for a first down for the Fighting Irish.
Not a bad carry by Ladors there that time, but you know, that's not the guy they want carrying the ball, and they're going to want to make some decisions about that in terms of, you got Gaskins back there, you got Jack Floor that can carry the ball as well too. A nice first down pickup, but I think they'll try to hand it off this next time.
There's got to be a question in the minds of Eastside Catholic offense. Turning it over in downs is almost the same as a turnover, and yet they did it deep in ODea territory. ODea already with a first down on one running play. The door's under center. I formation behind him. Gives it to the fullback. Right there are the Crusaders, and nowhere for Jack Floor, the big captain, to go. He's got an offer from Sacramento State in the Big Sky Conference, and he shows a lot defensively as well as on offense.
Yeah, short pickup really on the dive play, although they build the option off of that package as well. Keep in mind, ODea is yet to lead in this game. We're still in the first quarter, but with a lot of points on the board, ODea looking for that first lead.
Bobby Sims out wide left for ODea. They go for him in the flat. Way off as the cornerback, and Sims gets the ball, and another first down for ODea in a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, huge cushion by the defensive backfield there. They pretty much gave him the first down. He had all kinds of room to make that catch. All he had to do was not drop it, fall forward. He would have gotten the first, and that's what he did. Picked up a little extra as well.
They move the stakes, and the clock continues to tick again. 3 minutes left in this opening quarter, all tied at 14. Eastside Catholic, the first one to blink in terms of not scoring with possession. ODea mounting a drive the other way into Crusader territory. 1st and 10, I formation. The second back, and there he goes again. Miles Gaskin, first down to the 31-yard line. Actually, they mark him at the 33.
You see how quickly he bolted through the line, got to the second layer, and if it wasn't for a jersey pull, would have been gone for yet another touchdown. He really gets to that third layer so fast.
Power and speed, yes, the quickness certainly there, but the way he reads the holes already in evidence tonight.
And that offensive line helping to make those holes. We talked about trench play being a key in this one. So far, ODea helping to manage that right here on this drive.
Mike O's wide left. They're going to turn and give to the fullback Floor. And he's running through as if he's Miles Gaskin. Doesn't need to read the hole. It's as big as a Mack truck, and he gets another 10 yards or more.
Yeah, you pretty much said it right there. Just a huge hole opened up. It's almost if ODea, can pretty much dictate where they want that ball to go. And we've got an official's timeout here.
Already 4 first downs on this drive, 1 by pass, 3 by the ground. And Gaskin and Floor are chewing up the Crusader territory. 2:14 left in the quarter.
Eastside Catholic defense has been on the top of their game the last few weeks, only giving up 21 total points. They're in jeopardy of giving up that here just in the first quarter.
Welcome to playing top 10 football. And mostly it's about good defense. You talk about championships, but how about 2 great offenses? And they hand it off to Gaskin. He's got the whole side into the second level, and he's forced down in a tumble of Crusaders at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, he is just weaving his way through that secondary. He's got more speed than those guys back there, and he is just kind of darting in and around them. Finally, one of the guys just heaving him down by going over the top, setting up 1st and goal. But Gaskin's already with 2 scores on the night from distance. He's going to look perhaps for a short yarder right here.
Junior linebacker Joey Warfield off as Coach sends in the defensive alignment. 2 wide receivers spread, but it's all about the run game between the tackles. And this time it's the quarterback Ladors in for a touchdown in the 4-yard plunge off the left tackle.
When you've got those running backs working those holes and you run a little bit of that option, all it takes is a little bite on the dive play or a little bit of, trying to maintain your discipline on coverage, making sure you don't have that pitch go awry or such, and it opens the door for the quarterback to just kind of sneak in around the end there.
Well, it's been a full 6 minutes and 33 seconds since the score. Hopefully nobody went to sleep during that, as the kick is up and it's good. So it's ODea, the Fighting Irish, leading 21-14 with 1:24 left. It's been an exciting first quarter. Can these kids sustain it, this level of play? offensively, defensively?
Oh, you bet. These guys are young. They got energy. They got plans for things after the game tonight. I think the rest of us, we're going to hit the bed and get some rest because we've got, age against us, but these guys do not. They've got the energy, the vim, and the vigor to keep this going, certainly. And, of course, you talk about some high-scoring, high-octane scores. ODea has managed to win their games, every single one of them. They put up no less than 35 points in the game, winning 35-7, 49-7, 51-26, 42-0, 49-6, 35-0. So they're not afraid of the high-octane scores. Neither is Eastside Catholic. They posted 62 in a win over Liberty in the season opener. Their lone loss was their lowest scoring output of the year, and that was 21 to their neighbors Eastlake just down the street here.
Well, it's Friday night. They can probably do well, just run up and down the field and getting the weekend to rest and do their homework. Another pooch kick to avoid the long return back at the 24-yard line, and we have a whistle after the fair catch. So, again, it's going to be Eastside Catholic plying their wares from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're a team that can certainly put up some points. Getting back to ODea in that season opener where they posted 35 on Gig Harbor, that was in a half because of lightning. They had to terminate that game at the half, and so no doubt they could have put up a significant total on that board if that game left to go.
Well, minute and under a half left here in the opening quarter. You're watching the NFHS Network along with Alex Webster. I'm Tom Smith, and we were there at Kings with a little bit of the fall weather, but it didn't have the lightning. We were grateful for that night, and that was
Indeed.
a good football game for the Blue Knights. Again, play action, pressure, and Hirsch ran away from a few, but he couldn't run away from all the Fighting Irish, and he tosses the ball to the official after a tackle for loss of about 6 yards, maybe 5.
Yeah, Nathan Proctor Jr. coming up from the linebacking spot to get that sack, and that was one of those cases where, they talked about getting rid of the ball early, getting the ball on the perimeter, not able to do either one of those things, and they paid the price.
2nd and 15, they responded well after a penalty gave them that, but that was in the red zone where they got their first score, or second score, I should say, against ODea. Here, they've got to do it in their own end. The Irish are pitting their ears back, coming after the Crusaders. A handoff left-hand side, and just getting that regular yardage is Henry Jarvis, and it's serious running. Not a lot of extra special moves, just going off where the hole is designed and taking the contact and delivering if you can.
Well, you want to try and create third and manageable, and he gets this one to about 3rd and 9 thanks to that run. He was over 1,000 yards as a junior last year, and prior to last week he carried the rock 84 times for 865 yards, so well on that pace as well.
Yep. Henry Jarvis for the Crusaders, and we're going back again. Trying to throw it under pressure. This is a definitely good coverage, is unable to find any candidates for a reception is Harley Kirsch going down, and they're going to be forced to punt for their first time in the ballgame.
Well, you're looking downfield, and obviously ODea was thinking they're going to have to pass the ball. They've already got guys back there in protection. In fact, they had 3 guys way deep. Kirsch was looking deep. There's a reason why he had nobody to throw it to. They were all covered.
Well, now, the quarterback is the punter here, so he takes a short drop back further. In motion is McElveny. And the running kick with a flag on the play, and it's sliced toward the O'Dea's sideline of the field here at the 42. It'll be out, and we'll see what the penalty flag is all about.
Yeah, it's one of those unique situations where your quarterback is your punter, so you can do some wild and crazy things out of that package. The question is did they get a little too wild and crazy?
Well, the flag is picked up already, but the official confab is occurring at the Crusaders' 35-yard line.
They've had some interesting things to talk about. We've had a fairly penalty-free ball game thus far, but we're still in the first quarter.
And again, a procedural penalty against Eastside Catholic, and it's going to be declined as O'Dea prefers to have the ball with a new quarter and 26 seconds left in the half, and that 7-point lead, 21-14.
Well, I think they're going to take the ball where they got it because it was less than a 40-yard punt, and they're going to take the ball at their own 42. No doubt, we just go and take it and run. Going to try and add to your 7-point lead already, and just a tremendously back-and-forth ball game. But O'Dea starting to settle down and settle in. They've already taken the lead, now want to add to it.
Yep, 23-yard punt there. 1st and 10. The pitch to the left-hand side. Kaskin tracks a few more of those black shirts as Eastside Catholic has called for a blackout tonight. And the crowd, the fans, have gone along with the shows. We've got a lot of dark colors down in front of us. We're actually placed right outside the booth of the athletic building. Basketball and the gymnastics and all of that, the volleyball take place behind us. And with the end of the quarter, it's ODea 21 and the Eastside Catholic Crusaders 14. You're watching the NFHS Network. We'll be back after a short break.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Valley graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the student broadcast program, visit nfhsnetwork.com/SBP.
Welcome back to Eastside Catholic High School and the NFHS Network coverage of this Metro League Mountain Division football game, where the visitors from ODea, the Fighting Irish, leading 21-14 over their hosts, the Crusaders. Well, Metro League is kind of interesting. The Mountain Division's mostly all private schools, the Sound Division public schools, great legacy and lore throughout, including this ODea program, who start the quarter 2nd and 6. And going up the middle is their quarterback. After keeping it, it's Pierre Ladors.
You know, and
brings a load when he runs.
Well, you talk about the history, of course, ODea winning state championships in 91, 94, 95, and some academic state championships as well in 93, 95, and 99. No doubt they'd like to try and find their way back to that spot. Of course, they were state runner-ups 2 years ago, and one of the guys helping to lead them there, their quarterback, Pierre Ladors, who's in his senior campaign.
Jonathan Wells splits wide right. They have one other receiver down near us, and they'll pitch and come to the short side of the field. And it's Swain making the moves. And at the end of the quarter, we noticed that Miles Gaskin was kind of limping off the field. So all of a sudden, with a chance from the line of scrimmage, Caleb Swain, the junior running back, shows some flash and dash there and gets a first down.
Yeah, flash and dash indeed, as he was juking some guys. He reminded me of little Barry Sanders a little bit there with that juke and jive.
I'm sure he won't mind that reference. So it brings up another first down in Crusader territory for ODea, who are looking to stretch their one touchdown lead. The spin, the handoff, it's Floor, and he runs wild until he's taken down with a solid open field-like tackle by Brandon Wellington. So Wellington can handle the ball really well, but he handles his way pretty well as he tackles Floor, the powerful fullback.
Yeah, and ODea just really getting back to basics here. They want to keep this ball on the ground, allow their powerful offensive line to open up the holes, keep the clock moving, keep the ball in possession. They want to stay away from the explosive capabilities of Eastside Catholic's offense, and the best way to do that is to have some good sustainable drives and explode on the ground themselves.
2nd and 3 for the Irish. Handed off deep in the backfield. And I'm not sure about the number, but I believe it might be Deveray Proctor. First down.
Yeah, one of the things about those blackout uniforms is, I'll tell you what, they're hard to read those numbers, man. It is hard to see who is out there on some of those piles. But that time, the defensive line was stout enough to force this 3rd and short.
So it's Rylan Kerr with the carry. And now they split the backfield behind the doors, and he'll just take the ball and go over the right side, and the pile up is right there at the stakes. It'll be up to the officials, and where they mark it, I would take a gamble that it's a first down, but it's awfully close.
It is really close. I think he just got enough. Initially, I wasn't sure if he was going to, because he tends to run a little bit up and down, straight up and down, and he's got to get that shoulder down a little bit. Extra push, extra effort got him the first down.
Well, the Doors checks in at 6'2", 221 pounds, and he gets up high, gives him the visibility. As a quarterback, he wants that. When you're running, it's good to get low, get your pad level down. And it's a first down, as you called it, from the Fighting Irish. And they'll give it over. And making a miss in the backfield is number 22, Ryland Kerr. And Ryland keeps on going. No, it's number 6, Miles Gaskin. And he scores after coming in off the bench. ODea, another touchdown.
27-yard strike, and whatever was ailing him a few moments ago at the end of the quarter was not in play there. He broke at least 3 tackles en route, a zigzag route to the end zone, and unfortunately for Eastside Catholic, one of their players is hurt on the play. But Miles Gaskin continuing to add to his legacy in this one. He's got 3 out of the 4 scores.
And it was a slow developing play, as you mentioned. He kind of picked his way around and then sliced and diced as he cut diagonally into the end zone. And you love to see the Fighting Irish rally around him. That's a big, big touchdown for the visitors.
No doubt about it, as they go up by a couple of scores in this one. And this one is a long way from over, certainly. But ODea, after dodging some of those Eastside Catholic bullets early on when they put together a great opening drive, did the Crusaders, and then the 68-yard strike. But all throughout, it's been about keeping the ball on the ground. They get a 43-yard from Gaskins, an 80-yard run from Gaskins.
Yep.
Ladors, after Gaskins sets the table, gets a 4-yard strike, and now a 27-yard zigzag run by Gaskins after getting some help there for a while he got a little breather on the bench. But it's been all on the ground.
As they take a moment to check on the player on the field, the fallen Crusader, if you will, we'll check right back into the ball game shortly.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the student broadcast program, visit NFHS Network.
Welcome back. We get set for the extra point as Joey Warfield was helped off the field. The junior's going to be A-OK, coming off under his own power. The kick for ODea, and the extra point is good as Robert Girardin puts it through. Well, it's now 28-14. You think maybe now the young players can settle into their game? That drive looked like good old-fashioned ODea football.
Hey, you know, that really is the case. I don't know if they've put it in the air, if not more than once so far in the game. They haven't had to because of the long runs by Gaskins. But, you know, it really fundamentally comes back down to what was one of the big keys in the game, and that is the line play. And right now the offensive line for ODea is winning the battle in the trenches against that Crusader defensive line.
Well, really, it's been about who's going to produce. We're not really talking about turnovers if you let go of that turning it over on downs. So 2 third downs, 3rd down and a 4th down, where Eastside Catholic could not convert. And then going the other way, marching down the field as we turn the corner into the quarters. And now it's a 28-14 lead. And it looks like the other little tactic that Monty Coulter's Brain Trust has employed is not to give the ball to Wellington or to Arbus Jackson, who ripped off an 80-yard return to get the game going for Eastside Catholic. They popped it in the air. Let's see what they do here.
Yeah, and right now the Crusaders need to find a little spark. They don't want to let this game get too far out of hand here.
And it's the right-hand side at the 16-yard line. They pitch it back onto the ground. It goes, and recovering his own fumble, or muff, if you will, is the Crusaders' Brander Wellington, and he's normally got a good hands there. I think he just took his eye off the ball on that high pitch back.
Yeah, and this is one of those scenarios where you want to watch out for what they call the quicksand out here. You take one step, and it's the wrong step. You're trying too hard to make some good things happen. It's kind of akin to what happened to the Washington State Cougars last weekend in their 4th quarter against Oregon State. Every step they tried a little bit too hard. They tried to make some things happen, and they didn't play quite the way that they should. There's lots of time in this game. Crusaders, just play your game.
Well, they start their deepest position at the 15-yard line, and Kirsch hands the ball off. Jarvis makes a way around the corner after making a ODea defender miss. And that's not easy to do because these ODea defenders, Gerard Kennedy was the one who had him in his grasp, but he just used his strength, popped it outside, and got a 7-yard run to get things going, and that's a good positive step for the Crusaders, just as you were asking for.
Well, you know, Henry Jarvis is a very talented weapon for them. They don't have to put it in the air every play. They do like to, but a little mix and match.
On second and short, Jarvis left, and they're trying to string him out, and this time he will not get to the stakes, or will he, as the officials signal a first down. What a hit, though, by Big 59 coming down the line, Gerald Kennedy, and yet it is a first down. The first one in this quarter and the 5th of the ball game for the Crusaders.
Yeah, Kennedy with the huge hit. He's a senior, very quick. He's elusive but strong, and he showed it right there. Very aggressive, and you saw that with that hit. And we've got another injured player down.
Well, it was ODea taking it to the Crusaders on the last 2 drives and defensively. And now a second Crusader has to be attended to on the field. This is a physical game. That's why these young boys like to play it. And things like this certainly can happen. And one of the big areas we all know of concern is in the concussion. We'll step aside for a moment.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the student broadcast program, visit nfhsnetwork.com/SBP.
NFHS action is something you can dial up further down. So if you want to go back and take a look at some of the games that we've covered here in the state of Washington or throughout the NFHS network, you can do that. So being helped off the field, it looks like the Crusaders player is Devon Arbus Jackson, who made that bright start for Eastside Catholic. Trips right for Harley Kirsch now, and the Eastside Catholic team 1st and 10 on that burst down the middle. The throw, and boy, does Harley Kirsch, she's going backwards, flips the left-hander, very nearly completes the ball, but it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Ben Angelo was the intended receiver. The ball was in the vicinity. There was room there, and just a little bit off the mark for the sophomore. And, of course, he still has not thrown an interception this season. So he found the right receiver, was just a little bit off the mark. 2nd and long.
Good numbers for the sophomore quarterback. Over 1,000 yards. And the handoff up the middle and cutting back, and ODea gangs up on him and wraps him up at the 43-yard line. So Eastside Catholic still with a lot of spark on the running game.
Yep, and that was Jarvis once again. We talked about him. They have ridden him a little bit. If this game's going to settle down a little bit and they want to go running game versus running game, it's not like Eastside Catholic doesn't have a weapon. They have a talented one in Henry Jarvis, and he's showing it right here.
It's a question perhaps of depth of talent, as ODea's been able to dip it a little bit further so far in the ball game. And the shotgun snap, Jarvis the handoff. And he's brought down by 3, 4, 5 ODea tacklers. O's the first to get up, and Jarvis gets 5 yards.
You know, and Jarvis not only can rush the ball, he can also catch the ball as well. And he's had double-digit receptions for 100 yards or thereabouts, and another score as well. So he can enter in a whole nother way and add a dimension to this Eastside Catholic offense.
2nd and 5, maybe 6, and ODea offsides. They're going to get a free 5, and that'll bring them close to the first down. Only the second penalty with yardage marked off against ODea. And we're all equal with 20 yards for each team so far.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what Eastside Catholic does here. Second and extremely short. This might be an opportunity to look downfield.
Kirsch with the signal. They stick with the play. Actually, they're going to change the play. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Jarvis goes to his right. Could this be a passing play? It's a free down, if you will. Play action. Knocked to the line of scrimmage, and good recovery for the reception. First down on an excellent play, and the number is difficult for me to read. Is that Matt Laris making the catch?
Yeah, 6'4" frame, 205-pound, just a sophomore, and that tip drill works both ways.
Yep.
And this time, the Crusaders were the fortunate recipients.
13-yard gain brings up 1st and 10 for the Crusaders. Their 3rd first down earned here in the quarter. And they're on the march in ODea territory. Kirsch now. Lots of time. Looks downfield, double pumps, working his way back, knocked out a play, and a late flag comes in. There was contact, and O's holds up his hand in that universal pleading fashion, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, I would guess, unless they rule offensive interference. I did not see that.
Well, it was interesting. That ball placed near the sideline. Really, if anybody was going to get it, it was going to be a toe tapping catch on that edge, and you can see the conversation right now. I think there is some conversation as to whether this one is offensive or whether it is defensive. Both the defensive back and the receiver were in that vicinity, and it is defensive.
And it will go against them. It looked like there was some kind of a hand action, but the referee often will let the play out before they drop their flag, because they're going to allow the play to continue to see who can gain advantage. And the late flag goes against ODea.
And, it was just a few minutes ago where ODea had gone up by a couple of scores. The first time they'd had a double-digit lead in this one, and we said, hey, Eastside Catholic has to find a spark. I think they found it, and it was keyed off of Henry Jarvis's early runs to change the dimension of this game, and now they're trying to mix the run and the pass, and they're finding some issues in that ODea defense.
Michael Story split wide left with Colin McElvaney in the slot. They have 2 receivers on the right, including Ben Angelo. Jarvis in the backfield. Kirsch looks left, goes down the middle and throws it into the turf. He had 2 receivers on that side open and just shortchanged his motion.
Yeah, he hits that one in stride, and that one's 6 points, no doubt about it. Just a bit off the mark. Not sure if it was a little deflected at the line or just lost the handle on it, but he had a guy running a post pattern that was clear, straight onto the end zone if they could just get the connection.
So a lot of space being created by Eastside Catholic. Can they take advantage? Jarvis up the middle, and ODea wrapping him up, and leading the way is Jarius McDade, and the captain lays down the wood.
6'2", 313 pounds, and that was one of the players that the head coach of the Crusaders, Jeremy Theobar, indicated they have to avoid. Unfortunately, they did not avoid him there. He came in and made his presence felt in a big way. Big 3rd down coming up now for the Crusaders on what is a critical drive for them right now, down a couple of scores.
ODea aligns themselves with 2 down linemen, and McDade is prototype nose tackle. Lefty on the swirl. And the throw is dropped at the stakes, and that would have been near 1st down, but it brings up a 4th and 10 for Eastside Catholic to mull over.
Yeah, I think that was Matt Laris who had one of the fortunate catches a little while ago, but this time that one was a much-needed 1st down. In and out of the hands, it comes back to the huddle, says, my bad, but you know what? It may have been all for naught, as there was a penalty on the play, but I believe it's being declined.
Okay, the illegal motion, the illegal procedure will be declined, brings up 4th down. And, of course, with your quarterback able to punt, but down by 2 scores, 6:03 left in the half, what will the choice be?
Yeah, I think this is go for it territory. I mean, you're at the 25-yard line. If you don't, you'd be kicking if you had a kicker that had the kind of distance, but at this point, you're going to go for it.
It's in the hands of Harley Kirsch. Motion man behind him. He sprints that way to the left. And downfield he goes, and unable to come all the way back and make the catch. It will be, again, the Crusaders turning over on downs.
Yeah, and that's the right call. I mean, you're sitting at about the 25, 26-yard line, and you punted it in the end zone. You're going to get 5 yards out of it. you want to go for it and put your team in the best possible chance to win. And, 4th and 10, not a high percentage opportunity, but you know what? You got to pass off. You got it in the vicinity of your receiver. You're hoping for a little bit more, but, you want to go for it in those particular circumstances. They did. It didn't turn out the way that they wanted. Of course, down a couple of touchdowns. The big key now, 5:56 left in the quarter, keep ODea off the board.
60-yard drive stalls at the ODea 25. They start their drive leading by 2 scores. Just under 6 minutes remains. Spinning, Lador's hands off. Floor stacked up in the middle, and he'll be brought down. And it's a great response from your team defense.
Yeah, but nonetheless, ODea able to pick up about 3 yards, maybe about 4 on that. So great team defense to get that one stuffed, but it's 4 yards downstream.
That's wonderful when the defense plays really well and you can come away with 4 yards at high average. And that speaks to your line play, but also to the power of your runners. And Floor and Caskins have shown that. Lador's keeper on the right-hand side, reading it well, spinning under the grasp of the tackler. He rolls to his own 48-yard line, and it's another Fighting Irish first down.
Anybody else know a baseball player that plays quarterback that can run the ball on an option in this neck of the woods? I don't know.
Played for North Carolina State, maybe.
Yeah,
Wisconsin,
maybe. A little shade of Russell Wilson there, although I'd say Russell Wilson a little bit more compact and a little more sturdy on that run, but certainly a nice comparison there for someone who's going to go on and play some baseball in the Ivy League next year, and that quarterback, senior veteran quarterback for this ODea squad.
Don't think Pierre Ladors is going to mind that, and someone says in the audience, Jake Locker, can he run? How about this, right-hand side, ODea's runner of the day, Miles Gaskin, sends another message, he's healthy. Galloping deep into Crusader territory. They're going to spot him at the 28-yard line.
Miles Gaskin's already with 3 touchdowns in this one. He's closing in if he's not already past 200 yards in just the first half.
Well, already 10 first downs in the ballgame for ODea. Their trademark drives have been on display here after firecracker start here at Eastside Catholic. Both teams quick strike. But ODea now beginning to eat the clock as they eat up the yardage, threatening again for their 5th score in the ball game. 4:49 left in the half. 28-14, and whistles and flags before the Irish can get going.
Miles Gaskin, who had 204 yards in the first half in the season opener at Gig Harbor when they posted a 35-7 victory in that weather-shortened game, and of course, already 3 scores, couple from distance, adding in some of these chunk plays that he's got out there on the carries. No doubt, if he's not at 200 yards, he's awfully darn close to it if he's not even past it in this first half. And there's still some room to roam here and still some time on that clock.
Another 5 yards ticked off against ODea, bringing their first half total to 40 yards of penalties. And the handoff. Slashing off tackle, and again, the Eastside Catholic pile stacks him up, but it's another 4-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 11.
ODea just methodically doing what they do. The critical piece for them was that they've limited Eastside Catholic's explosive plays that go for scores, forced them into a long drive that stalled out, and now they get the ball right back, relying on that line to bust open the holes for the quick stable of backs, including Gaskins. That's the recipe for success, and it's the Monty Kohler way here so far tonight.
And 2nd and 10, they rule it. Ladors rolling, fires under pressure, deep into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. As the officials now signal touchdown for the Fighting Irish. And where have we seen that before? Fans lining the field for a big night of football between number 2 and number 5, and some say number 3 if you look at the NIE, or is it the NEI? A lot of rankings weighing in on this Eastside Catholic team. They have looked brilliant so far, but ODea humbling them with steady football. Touchdown and that long pass into the corner.
Ladors with that 28-yard scoring strike.
And the extra point attempt, the kick is up, and Robert Girardin with the extra point, and now it's 35 for ODea, 14 for Eastside Catholic. Still 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in the half.
You know, at one point in this game, it was Eastside Catholic in front 14-7. Since then, 28 unanswered points by O'Dea, and that's been since the 7:57 mark in the first quarter. So in a little bit over a quarter, O'Dea, after that fast start by both teams in the first 5 minutes of the game, since then it's been all O'Dea, 28-0 scoring run in just a little over a quarter of action.
Well, you know how kids love to have earplugs in their ears. They might be listening to you as we're streaming online. That way you analyzed his play, looking a lot like Russell Wilson. Anybody watching in the NFL Network last night, or perhaps Joe TV in the area, might be looking at that rolling to the right, under pressure, flinging into the end zone, and the touchdown by, yes, Russell Wilson. A bit reminiscent there, the replay here today.
Yeah, not a bad carbon copy, and of course the end result is probably what folks care about, and in that case the Seahawks with a convincing victory, and right now O'Dea appears here still with over a half to play to be well on their way to a victory here in a bit of a revenge game after losing to Eastside Catholic last year. They have the upper hand in this one, but still a ways to go.
Crusaders all the way to the final, the playoffs last year, down by their Eastside rival Bellevue, and now taking on O'Dea in a night where their hopes were higher than the scoreboard shows so far, and that kicking game really has changed for O'Dea since the first two kickoffs, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's actually netting out quite nicely for them. I mean, if you're going to pooch it and get it down around the 20-yard line, you know, that's a much better risk-reward situation than trying to kick it deep, trying to maybe get it in the end zone for a touchback and not have to keep it away, and indeed keep it away from a dangerous return man.
Remember the pitchback attempt, I believe it was Fizzle Win, where it was fumbled by Wellington and recovered, but still they have not taken any such risk on those short kicks. The run to the right side of the first down nets half of a yard for the Crusaders.
And right now for Eastside Catholic, they know that they've really got to put something together here. They've got plenty of time. They only have one timeout remaining in this half, but about 3.5 minutes, and they can certainly do some damage in that time.
Harley Kirsch, remember they marched 60 yards before their last drive stalled, so that's promising. They just need to put together play-by-play another drive and come up with something positive to go in the locker room with. The pitch by Kirsch is collected, and it's near first down territory as three O'Dea players forces the recipient, Matt Laris, out of bounds.
Yeah, and the other key point, getting out of bounds. It'll set up 3rd and short, so we'll see what they come up with. The big key here is just get the first down, move the chains, and keep this drive going.
Kirsch set to go. Crusaders look to the line. No huddle offense. Spread formation. Jarvis in the backfield, the handoff, and getting caught from behind, but he does plunge ahead. Nice timing, nice sense in the rearview mirror. First down for Eastside Catholic. Good running by Jarvis.
And that was the big key. Just get those chains moved, get a fresh set of downs. You're now with 3:22 to go. You got plenty of time here, especially as quickly as you can strike. But give yourself the higher percentage opportunities here, moving the ball down the field.
3 minutes, 15 seconds remain. First down. 10 yards to go from their own 32-yard line. Crusaders trying to have an answer here for O'Dea. 3 straight scores, actually 4 straight scores. And the fling to the sideline, out of bounds, stops the clock, 2:58 to go. Nice first down again. It's Laris collecting the pass.
Yeah, and that's not pretty much the same play they ran on second down on that previous set of downs. Just a nice pickup. Bringing up a 2nd and medium.
Clock is rolling. They ruled him being downed inside the field of play. And now they need to pick things up to get into a scoring position. They're about 40 yards from that. Kirsch looks left, dumps it down the middle. It's going to be a first down at the 45-yard line. That will momentarily stop the clock with 2:23 remaining, and the offense will hurry to the line.
Well, I think they heard you there at saying that they need to open this up a little bit. They looked looked deep to the far side of the field, didn't see anything there, came back for the sure gain underneath.
O'Dea, disciplined defense right now. Cover 1, it looks to be. They're 4-2. Those linebackers really controlling the middle from defensive end to defensive end. Nowhere to run, but the edges have been where Crusaders have found some opportunities. Kirsch in play action down the middle. It's Ginn connecting with Matt Laris, and it's a first down at the ODea 30-yard line. Beautiful play for 25 yards.
Yeah, and the tall sophomore took a lick, went up high, and then got sandwiched in between a couple of defenders trying to make that hit. That's one you kind of saw coming a little bit when he was up in the air. You kind of get that defenseless receiver situation, and that's kind of what happened. Hopefully he'll pop back up here in a moment.
8 underclassmen, 7 sophomores, and they are definitely contributors here in this Eastside Catholic. These are the starters we're talking about.
Well, and that's indeed the case. I mean, Eastside Catholic, their head coach and Jeremy Theobald, we talked about it before the ball game. They really need, it's a sophomore-laden team, and they need some of these guys to step up, just as Laris pops right back up here. He took a licking, and he's going to keep on ticking.
All right.
And he's, I think, going to be ready to go back into this ball game, and he gets a moment.
Third-year coach Jeremy Thielbar comes in with lots of experience. He was at a Rose Bowl with Washington State, and he's been at Montana State and Idaho, as you mentioned earlier, and he's got something going here at Eastside Catholic.
Yeah, they've got some things brewing, and this is one of those battles you want to see.
The players now breathing heavily, their breath looking like they're trying to create the fog that we expect tomorrow morning. 1:46 remaining in the half, down 35-14. Eastside Catholic with the ball. The shuttle pass at Jarvis runs his way out of 2 would-be tacklers across the 20 to the 10. He cuts back in at the 5, and he's wrapped up. A late flag at the 15-yard line, but he's down inside the 1. We'll see where the penalty flag goes against, but what a play in the combination. Jarvis collecting the shuttle pass from Kirsch all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Well, we talked about Jarvis's ability with the run and how he can add an extra dimension to the passing game. He did that there, but unfortunately for the Crusaders, he was sprung a little bit by a hold here, but it was after the catch, so we'll see how far they bring this one back.
And you saw where the flag went. It wasn't the line. It was one of the wide receivers downfield trying to create some space. So they're going to take that yardage from the 15. I believe they're going to give them the first down. And with 1:33 left, though, it does leave Eastside Catholic in pretty good position despite the 15-yard penalty.
Well, that's it's an interesting call, and I would not be surprised to see them go back to Jarvis in that situation. You really need your key players to step up when you're down by several scores. Jarvis is one of those key players. He can do it a lot of different ways.
What was scary about that play, just as he was receiving the ball, he seemed to be wrapped up by 2 Irish, but he ran his way out of those tackles. And here we go, 1st and 12, they're saying. And the ball's on the ground, but it looks like an incomplete pass.
And that's what the umpire's calling is incomplete. He's
And that
right in the
works out
center
well
of things,
for
and
the
that's the
Crusaders.
shovel pass. That's the benefit of the shovel pass.
And with 1:28, the clock being stopped, that's definitely a plus for the Crusaders.
Well, not only that, but to get the clock stopped, because again, they're without 2 of their timeouts already.
And here we go. 88 seconds left, and we're going to have another 5-yard penalty. And slot receiver takes an anxious step forward, and that puts his team back 5 steps.
Yeah, this was knocking on the door of the end zone when Jarvis had gotten all the way down there. Now a couple of penalties, one on that play, and then one right here, and they're back near their own 30-yard line.
Something in the air. I mean, a NFL team in the vicinity has these end-of-half issues we've seen the last couple of games. 2nd and 8 now for the Crusaders. Odd situation. Can they convert? Again, still 88 on the clock. And a receiver is running through, and again, it's a sophomore, Matt Laris, on the pass by Kirsch.
Yeah, 3rd time on this drive we've seen that play, just that out route to Laris on that right side, the near sideline, and it picks up a chunk of yardage, and in this particular case, we'll bring him a 3rd makeable, but this is 4-down territory.
They're going to flip their receivers now. They got trips left, including Laris inside, one of the slot receivers. And ODea, late to adjust, sends a quarterback out wide as they flip the field there. An early snap might have been to the advantage of Eastside Catholic. Kirsch, and again, he bounces to the surface on the 3rd down play. It'll bring up 4th and 3. And I think maybe, is that just a bad throw, or did he see what he didn't like? He needs to be aware of that clock.
I think one of the situations you get, especially with young quarterbacks, is I don't think there's a pass that they don't think they can make. And so I really think that one just happened to slip out of his hands. He was off balance. And, for anybody throwing from the near hash to the far numbers, that's a tough throw. And, he didn't have enough on it.
Very casual, doesn't always set his feet. Was not under pressure there. Harley Kirsch, a sophomore. Not to put too fine-toothed picking on that mitt. And he throws into the corner, wide open, touchdown Crusaders! Michael Story collects, and the Crusaders get their pay dirt. So move me back, it just means I'm going to throw a longer touchdown throw, and that was a beauty by Kirsch.
Yeah, 28-yard strike. That's the rainbow they were looking for, and of course that was the tonic that perhaps they were looking for heading into the half. But, you know, lo and behold, minute 15 left, and we've seen some quick strikes from ODea, so they're not out of the woods yet in this half and still find themselves down by a bundle. But, hey, it's their first touchdown since early on in the first quarter. They'll take it.
Well, it's 2 bundles to be exact. They convert this kick. Well, they looked confident. It did go through. So 3 scores for the Crusaders, still 5 scores for ODea, and the Fighting Irish, leading 35-21, will have 75 seconds to play with before they go to the locker room. Well, for Eastside Catholic, though, Alex, they got what they were looking for, a long drive that started at their own 20-yard line, so 80 yards with not a lot of time. It was something like 2.5 minutes, and they did a pretty good job of managing the clock as well as getting the yards and as well as dealing with the adversity that sometimes is created by their own mistakes.
Well, that's exactly what they needed. I mean, how do you come back from a 3 touchdown deficit? You do it 1 score at a time, and it was critical that they get this one. Actually, more importantly, they kept ODea off the field.
That's
Granted,
important.
there's still a minute 15 left to go, but the way ODea has been moving the ball, they've pretty much been scoring at will. It's taken them a little bit of time. They do have the ability to score fast. We'll see if they can do that here. But a sustained drive helps to keep ODea off the scoreboard for a while.
And you get to feel good about yourself, so if that isn't full momentum, it gives you a good taste of momentum and a good defensive effort here to go in the locker room with no more ODea scores, maybe even create a turnover or something positive for yourself, and that's a huge, huge first step toward that end.
And Fighting Irish will get the ball to start the second half, too.
Yeah, that's a good reminder there. Swain watches it bounce into the end zone, so no time off the clock and 80 yards as they'll set the ball on the 20-yard line. And for the Irish, their success of late in the last 3 scores, steady drives, eating yardage and clock. Now with 75, can they come back with that first quarter hot strike, fast strike offense?
Well, remember the last touchdown they had was a 28-yard pass from Ladors. So, they're capable of putting it in the air. But, on that last play on that kickoff, great job by Swain to watch that one go as it was angling towards the sideline. It either goes out of bounds and you get it way up at the 35, or it goes into the end zone and you get it at the 20.
27-yard run for a touchdown by Caskin, and then a 28-yard pass. The Doors handing off, the Crusaders wrapping up, and they do a nice job, the Irish do, in mixing up their plays. They have not been afraid to go in between the tackles and try to establish dominance there, even though they have these laser receivers and running backs coming out of the backfield.
Well, I think the key for them right now is to see if they can break one here and put themselves into a position where a pass would be useful.
They pitch it to the right. Swain getting some speed. Another big Crusader pile. And the 3-yard run is followed by another 3 or 4 yards. They're close to a first down with a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, this is akin to basically taking a knee here, running it a couple of times. But, of course, the way they run the ball, it's a little like a lottery ticket. You never know. We might break one here, get it down into their territory, and then maybe we'll start to air it out a little bit. But the way things are going, ODea probably keep it on the ground. They do.
The Doors hands off and trying to pick his way through with the seconds ticking away. It looks like just what you've called for. They're going to end the half with 9 seconds left and a timeout called. The half is far from being over, but the clock ticks down to 4 seconds.
Yeah, and this was one of those keys where you're down a couple scores, you're Eastside Catholic, and, you've got a timeout left. You're not going to let the clock run out when you're basically forcing ODea to punt in this situation. And, with 4 seconds on the clock, they might be able to run around, take a knee, but you never know. You kick the ball, a lot of things can happen.
So the timeout with that, well, did they even give him a first down? It's going to be 4th now with 9 seconds.
Yeah, and they'll reset the clock to 8, and I think the key was they were trying to decide whether to take the timeout. Was it a first down? Was it not? You're not going to take the timeout if it's a first down. If it's 4th down, take the timeout, force them to punt. You never know. You've had some good returns in the kickoff game. Maybe you can do that in the punt game. I think this might be ODea's first punt of the game.
It will be their first punt. 4th down and inches. And a punt could also be potentially a fast strike for the Crusaders unless they just kick it straight away out of bounds or maybe even take a knee here. They 10 seconds on the clock now. Lots of time, only one man rushing, not much pressure. It kicks away and bounces O'Dea's way across the 30 and will roll dead just as the final 0 is on the board. And with that horn, it's halftime here at Eastside Catholic. Crusaders 21, and for 35, you got O'Dea going to the locker room up by 2 scores. You're watching the NFHS network coverage of high school football. This is Metro League action. Crusaders down 35-21 to the Fighting Irish. We'll be back after halftime.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Valley graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
You start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the student broadcast program, visit nfhsnetwork.com/SBP.